You're listening to Book Club Babes. Let's get into it.
Hi.
Hello. Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Show us your sweater. Show us your Diet Coke.
Hell yeah.
Oh my God. It's so cute. So cute.
I don't usually spend $100 on a sweater, but when it's a Diet Coke sweater, sometimes you just gotta bite the bullet and spend $100.
Yeah. But when she does spend $100, it's for a Diet Coke sweater.
Obviously.
And it's probably so cozy too. Like, is it like nice and soft inside?
It's nice and soft because it's brand new and everything too. Yeah.
And what else did you get that's book related that's so cool?
I got a clicker finally.
No, not that, but that too. Your cool little thing you just got yesterday.
Oh, my egg chair. Yeah, I bought an outside reading chair so that I can live my best outdoor life and get that D all summer.
So that you can shake and bake and
I gotta
read.
shake and bake and read, yes.
And bake. Yeah.
I already smoked a joint in the chair last night. Yeah.
And what else did you see?
The hummingbird feeders literally right beside the chair, and they were going crazy last night. It was awesome.
They knew you were there. They were like, well, let's go say hi to Chantel and her cool new egg chair.
I've got 2 hummingbirds, a male and a female, so I don't know if they're like mates or not, but
do they mate for life?
I'm not sure if they do. Yeah, I'm not sure. That's interesting. I've never actually looked that up, but she's actually there right now. I can see her from here.
How do you know it's the girl versus the boy?
The girl doesn't have a red under its throat.
Oh, okay. And just so everybody knows, hummingbirds do not mate for life.
Okay.
The male usually leaves the female shortly after mating. Classic.
Classic men. Classic.
Dine and dash.
Yeah. But it is pretty cute though. He'll go and sit on the clothesline while she eats, and then they'll like switch places. I'm like, you guys, there's more than enough like perches. You guys can both eat at the same time, but they are territorial.
Oh, so the male's being a dick. He's like, get the
sometimes
fuck out
they'll
of there.
Like zoom zap around. Yeah.
That's so cute. I love that. Oh, fun. Cool. And then you finish the book as well, which is great.
Yes. Yeah. What about you? What's new?
Nothing. I'm sad about our hockey boys. That's sad.
Yeah, but no spa for us.
No spa for us.
We'll go to the spa.
We need the spa. We need the ska. We need the spa now as a consolation prize.
True, because we're so sad and depressed.
Because we're so sad because they let us down.
Real down real bad.
Again, we're down bad, crying at the gym. Yeah. I finished listening to Educated by Tara Westover, which was good. It gave me like Glass Castle vibes. I don't know if you've ever read that.
I don't think I have. No. Oh, maybe I'll have. Those are 2 books I need to read now.
But they're both memoirs.
Okay, but know that going in. Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's like your vibe or what.
Okay, I could give it a shot. I don't think I've ever read a memoir. I'm sure I have.
If you're thinking about it, do Educated then, because it's really well written. So it's like it's an interesting memoir, but there's a lot of like trigger warning fucking animal abuse, which I wish was like something that I knew. So I literally fast forwarded, but yeah, it was good. And then I also finished the Edgar and the Boreal Crown.
Oh, she finished her up. Okay.
Yes. And it was interesting.
Okay. For a hockey player who wrote a book?
Yes. I feel like I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. Because it was much more different than I thought it would be.
Okay. Maybe I'll sit down and do the 2 or 4 hours or however long it is in the egg chair tonight.
Yeah, it's like 3.5 hours. So you could probably like just get a good start on it. It's definitely readable. Like it's not I didn't struggle getting through it. Like I was thinking about it. It's just there are like so many bases covered in one book that it's like, wow,
Mm.
there's a lot going
Oh,
on here.
split up. You could have made two books, even like split the
Maybe two books.
topics.
Yes, yes. Or like
Hmm.
even just consolidated and like focused on one area. But overall the
Mhm.
writing was really good. And I only caught like a few grammatical errors, which was huge. There was no spelling errors that I caught. It was just like weird stuff, like quotes around something that shouldn't have been
Mhm.
there, which is pretty impressive because I think that this might be self-published. Yeah, I think it might be. So that's kind of
That's
cool.
yeah, that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Anyway, yeah, and then I'm still reading my Haunting Adeline, and yeah, it's good so far. And
Mm.
finish this book. Oh, and I
Ooh.
started reading Every Summer After, listening to Every Summer After
Oh,
by
okay.
Kyle
And
Fortune.
did you start Secret Life of Mormon Wives last night?
No, because that's gonna be like, I feel like that should be like a you and me thing.
Oh, are we gonna watch it after our Taylor Swift tattoo?
Maybe we could. It'll be so,
Yeah.
that's so long,
Okay,
but that would be so fun.
I'll
Okay,
save
can
it.
you
I'll
hold up?
save it.
Can you hold
Oh
up?
yeah,
Okay,
I'll be able
okay.
to
I didn't even
100%.
realize that it was released.
I didn't
So,
either. I feel like I heard about season 2 like a long time ago, but
yeah,
then just it went off my radar. But
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
okay, okay,
It's
yeah,
out. Okay, okay, we'll save it because that would be a really fun sleepover because then it would be
it
juicy.
will.
It's
It
gonna be
will be
hard
juicy.
for me not to watch it, girl.
Oh,
I just gotta not. Just gotta not.
just gotta not. But if you have to, then I understand. We'll find something
No,
else.
because I think it would be really fun to watch.
Okay.
Okay. What about you? Reading? Do you reading?
Oh, I finished listening to Witchcraft for Wayward Girls by Grady Hendrix.
Oh.
Cute,
We
fun. I
actually
don't.
had a babe message us and ask us if we recommended it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I would totally recommend it. I might not recommend the audio version if you don't like strange noises because
Automatopoeias.
yeah, exactly. Because like the reader reads out the like moaning of childbirth and the like chanting and whatever of witches, so it's a
Do
lot
an
of ooh
impression.
ah ooh ah and stuff like that, so it's weird, and I just like skip that part a little bit because it makes me feel weird for some reason. And there
Oh,
are like, I would say if you have like anything around like childbirth, like scared around childbirth, probably skip, because there was points where I was like, I'm glad
oh
I'm not
God.
having
Oh
children.
God. Oh God. Was the narrator a male or a female?
It was a female. It was a
Okay,
female. It
okay,
was all
okay, okay, okay,
completely
okay.
from perspectives of females, young
Okay.
females, all the way to older females. And I thought he did a good job too. So yeah, I thought he did a good job like representing young women.
Cool.
And yeah, so I was all for it. It's like being powerful as a young woman and taking your own power back is pretty much the underlying
Cool.
whatever, but it's
Cool.
pretty interesting. It's cool.
Oh, cool. Cool. Oh, that's
Yeah.
fun. Good. Yes, I did tell her that you were just telling me that you recommended it
Mm-hmm.
because you were like,
Mm-hmm.
you could listen to it. And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah. So I did
Yeah.
tell her to read it. So,
Yeah.
because she said
Yeah.
that she had just gotten my friends. She had just started my friends. And then she's like, oh, I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
wait till June to read it with you guys. And, aw. Speaking of
Speaking
which,
of, let's you announce our books. Announce our books.
oh, I've already done it on Instagram though.
Yes, yes, you have, but not on the pod.
Banana on the pod. These are gonna be our June books. Yeah.
Yeah.
My friends, Frederick
Mm-hmm.
Bachman,
Mm-hmm.
amazing, and our first ever
Ooh.
fantasy novel. Look at
It's
this.
gorgeous. Kate showed it to me on the weekend when we went axe throwing.
Look
We
at
went
this.
axe throwing.
Oh yeah, we
Yes,
threw axes.
the illustration in there is
Beautiful.
gorgeous. If you can get that copy of
Beautiful.
the book, get it.
Beautiful. Yes, we threw axes and it was fun.
And we did.
Pew! You were good at it.
Axe,
You got those
axle.
axes.
I was scared
Axle.
at the beginning because I was like, I'm making too much noise.
I'm gonna
But
get in
then I got a
trouble.
Diet Coke in me and I was fine. Watch out. When a girl get a Diet Coke in her, watch out.
Axe hole. What were you?
Axe to grind.
Axe to grind. I was Axpert and Marty
Mm-hmm.
was that one.
Ellen. Story checks out.
Story
Story
checks
checks
out.
out.
Yeah. Oh, that was so fun. Get a got Diet Coke in her, and she's fearless.
Hmm.
Fearless.
Other than that, we only have two new babes in for bookkeeping. So we
Ooh,
have Christy and Angela. Hello.
welcome,
And we're starting
welcome.
to get some people over from YouTube into our Facebook group. So welcome. Keep joining our
That's
group. If
fun.
you're watching us on YouTube, we're happy to
Weird, but hi.
show our faces, I guess. Let's get into our book because there's a lot that happened in the end.
Holy
Yay!
moly! Flip. Okay, so I realized last week we totally forgot to mention that Hayden was going to Alice's house.
Oh, right.
Like that was
Yeah.
like a huge plot point that we ended on that we didn't even mention.
Right. They're on their road trip. They're going to go on a road trip.
Yeah,
They're
yeah, yeah,
talking
yeah,
about
yeah.
leaving and going. Yes.
Yeah. So they do. So they go
Mhm.
to Alice's house and Hayden gets to meet her
Yes.
mom. It's like kind of cute.
Yeah. And then Hayden, I feel like, knows Alice already so well and is kind of like, hey, I noticed that your mom doesn't respect you at all. Like, what's up with that? And she did not like that.
No, she did not like that at all. She did not like being called out,
Mm-mm,
which is
mm-mm.
fair. That's
Yeah. Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
But I also loved that Hayden showed because this was kind of like Funny Story, right? When
Mm-hmm.
he went and told her dad in Funny Story, like, yo, you can't
Mm-hmm.
just disappear like that. Well,
Mm-hmm.
Hayden actually showed Alice's mom her article on the Child Star,
Yes.
and so that was cool. And her mom even like mentioned it to her, like,
Yeah.
good article or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But still,
Yeah. Though I have to say about Hayden and Alice, yes, in the moment, I feel like obvious, but she did like the right thing. Like, I need time, leave
yep,
me alone. She
yep,
communicated that and then they got back and she's like, this is why, this is me, that's the way I am and I don't
yep,
really think about it. I related more with my dad. It is what it is. My mom is
yep,
kind of closed off. And then
yeah.
he's like, okay, I understand. And then like he left it there
But he
until the
says
end of the book.
goodbye.
Oh, but he said goodbye. Yeah.
He said goodbye, not good night. Oh.
But they had a good night. A few good nights. It got spicy.
It got spicy. I loved how they were holding off on the sex. I
The
loved that
deed.
element of it.
Yes.
Yeah, because it
And
was
it was him too, being like,
yeah,
I'm
true.
standing my ground. I'm
Yeah,
like, this is how I feel right
yeah,
about it and whatever. And
yeah,
she's like, are you sure you don't want to change your mind? Because I
yeah.
need that D.
Are you sure you don't want to just have a tiny, tiny little sex? Just a
Just a
tiny
tip. Just a tip.
just a tip. Oh my god. Oh
Soaking.
my
What if we
god.
just soak? Just speaking of
Nor,
Mormon wives. Oh.
nor. Oh my god. Yeah, well they don't. They don't until they
No.
finally do.
Yes,
Which
until
is
they finally
after
do.
that fight, the storm happens. Is that what happens?
Hmm.
After the fight, the storm happens and then he
Yes.
shows up all like, "Are you okay? You're not answering your phone." And then that's
Yeah.
when they do be fucking, right?
No, they do a lot of cunnilingus because she
Oh.
goes to the hotel room, and I think it's after I don't think it's his last, but I think he's made his
Right,
decision
right, right,
already. And then he's
right,
like, yes. She's like, have you changed your mind yet? Because they're having dinner together at his hotel
right,
room.
right. To
And then he's
celebrate,
like,
right? Yes.
yes. And then they get to fucking.
But then we find out that it's because he dropped out.
Yeah, which is crazy to
Very
me. But like,
crazy.
he, I think he deep down from the beginning didn't really have any connection to the
Margaret.
Margaret or her story or anything
Right.
that he knew of. Um, and so he just didn't seem like he was interested from the beginning, even at all, like
Right,
in the
right.
story, other than the fact that he just wanted like some competition at the beginning.
Right, yeah. Well, and he also like it also he felt from the beginning that Margaret wasn't being truthful with him. So he was
True.
kind of like, what's the whole point of this? Like,
Mm-hmm.
she's not telling me her story. I'm not getting to know her. Like,
Mm-hmm. So he's just automatically closed off, which she took
Yeah.
as like he hates me.
He
So
doesn't
what's
like me. Yeah.
he
Yeah.
doesn't. So what's the point of coming out with the truth? Should we talk about the truth?
Yeah. True. Or do you want to talk about all the stuff that happened in between to get
True.
us to the
True,
truth?
true, true. Yeah, we should probably do that. We should probably do that.
Oh.
We should
Okay,
probably do that.
because Cosmo Sinclair, how does he come in? As
Mm.
soon as I read the bit about Laura being obsessed with him, I was like,
Oh no, this is
oh,
going to end badly.
this is how it's gonna go. But then I also couldn't put it down. I was like, oh
Right?
my God, oh
So the only reason Cosmo Sinclair comes into the story is because Laura, Margaret's younger sister, is completely obsessed with him and like loves him to his core.
my
And
God.
they
Yes.
go on her epic adventure.
Because Laura is not leaving the house and she's super
Mhm,
sad because her grandfather, who's also her
mhm,
BFF, is RIP
mhm.
dying.
He's
And
dying. Yep.
Margaret's like, let's have one little fun night for you,
Mhm,
Miss
mhm.
Caregiver. Like, let's just go out and have this fun night, and then we can go home and you can continue like hanging with Grandpa.
Mhm.
Boring. But
Boring. I
this will
hate
be
him
good. We can
anyways.
connect. Yeah, exactly. And then what happens when they go to the concert?
There is a whole friggin' like it sounds like a rush to the stage, like trampling. It sounds scary and chaotic.
Cause he's what are they
He's gyrating
gyrating?
oh,
Yeah,
his hips.
gyrating. He's gyrating like Elvis.
Yes, hunka, hunka,
And then the
hunka.
girls go
Go
crazy.
wild. He like touches a girl on her face, and everyone's
Yeah, and
like,
then
"Me
it's like
too!" Ah! And everybody gets
gyrating.
trampled.
Yes.
People are getting black eyes and broken nose, aka Laura gets a broken nose and Margaret gets a black eye. There, it sounded scary,
Yeah.
but then people come to collect them right from the concert and also fuel more headlines of like socialites partying while Grandpa dies
Because he dies that
because he
night.
dies that
But I
night.
loved, fuck me. I loved how we finally kind of understood why Margaret was like such a camera ham. Like a lot of it, she was just trying to distract it from Laura because she knew that
Yep.
she wasn't like emotionally able to take the
Mhm.
dissection in the press about herself. So we got the perfect example when her and Laura were being taken out of the venue. Margaret just starts acting like an absolute maniac in front of the press because she can see that
Mhm.
they took a photo of Laura and then she's like, "No, it's me. I'm the
Yeah.
one." And like
She's like
that's
trying to
kind of
snatch cameras and
yes, like
shit.
she
Yeah.
goes crazy.
Mhm.
But to make a spectacle so that people would be talking about her instead. And then
Mhm.
that's kind of like how her whole public
Whole
life went, right? Like she was
exactly.
essentially just trying to protect Laura.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And then poor Laura gets obviously while she's down and out grieving her loss of her closest companion, which also hurts
Mm.
Margaret.
Which she then
Um,
is like, I can't listen to Cosmo Sinclair without thinking of my
mhm.
dead dearest friend. So
Yeah. So then Margaret's like, ooh, hate him too now. Don't love him. He shows up at their house though, too, the next day. And she's like, GTFO, not before she falls in love with him because they like start talking and shit.
and
And
he
he's like,
invites her to
come to my
another
concert.
show. Yes. And then
This time it'll be safe.
that is when things start getting
Mhm.
spicy.
They do it after the show in the dressing room, and
Mhm,
then they
mhm,
go their separate ways for what it sounds
mhm.
like years, even.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
But like but it sounds like they still have like that little tie. Like
Hmm.
they well, like he
Yes.
wrote her for a long time and she didn't
Hmm.
respond because she was like, my sister, like I can't betray her like that or whatever.
Hmm.
But then sister comes up with a new person,
New
muse,
confidant.
confidant, yes, someone
Yes.
that she respects.
Someone in a place of power, doctor, even Dr. Atwood, Dr.
Dr.
David.
David, who turns
Mm.
out to be a fucking cult
Cult
leader.
leader. Ah,
Oh my
no.
god.
Oh, poor Laura gets sucked into a cult, though she becomes like high up in the cult as well. By the sounds of it,
Yes.
she has like a special title.
Yes, as like his like wife, but then he's got
Yep.
multiple wives and it's
Mhm.
sketchy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then she's like, Daddy, I need $4 million or else I'm going to extort you, Daddy.
Yes.
Daddy.
Daddy, daddy. And then they go and essentially save her and say, like, hey, Margaret is like, hey, this is the deal. Like, don't do this kind of thing. Like, I love you.
She's like, you belong to me and I will do
Mm-hmm.
anything to get you back, which
Mm-hmm.
is like, I
Mm-hmm.
loved that. I
Mm-hmm.
loved, I loved Margaret's love for Laura.
Yes. And like that's her first true love, like her love.
Yeah. Yeah. And maybe her
Because her parents
only,
were never
well, aside from
around.
Cosmo. Yeah. Yeah.
Because yeah, that's the only person she really had
Yeah.
was Laura. So
Growing up. Even when they get her back and then they take her to Texas and Margaret sets up their little kid tent so that she
yeah,
has somewhere safe. Like that's just
yeah.
so, and it's the first time she hears Margaret laugh. Like that's just so
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
sweet. Their relationship is really cute and sweet.
It is.
Um Yes, so Laura decides she's going to extort the family for 4 million for their
Mm-hmm.
grandfather's secrets. They're like, they don't know what she actually knows, so shit fucking implodes. There's a literal shootout that Laura tells Margaret about, and so everybody's
Yeah.
there. People die. Turns out that Dr. David was abusing her and other women, and like we said, formed a fucking cult.
Mm-hmm.
There
Sad.
is a trial. Margaret or because Laura's part of the Ives family and has the money, she's able to flip and not get in trouble, which is like very interesting as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
While all of this is happening, because I think that we can talk about Cecil next.
Yes, I think so
Um,
too.
Hayden does talk about his mother's depression. He mentions how she almost overdosed once during his father's campaign and asked the kids to lie about it. And we also know that she's adopted and that she's super health conscious because she doesn't know about her past. And then,
Exactly.
like you were saying, it's also Hayden who's not allowing them to have sex because he says to her, I think if I get this job, you're going to break my fucking heart, which I like teared up at that because I was like, oh
Mm-hmm.
God. He also tells her that he's in love with her, but he doesn't want her to
Mm-hmm.
respond until the whole
Yep.
thing's over. And
So
she's
then
like, got, oh, go
yeah.
ahead.
Oh, and I was just gonna say, so then Alice is like the whole time's been like, I've been thinking this since the moment I fucking met you, and I can't say it.
She can't tell him that she loves him back, but she just has it on her brain like 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love you, I love you, I love
Love
you.
you. Exactly.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
oh.
Okay.
Um,
Cecil?
oh, Cecil, speaking of people who are intertwined with the Ives family, turns out Cecil had another life before he was the owner of the fishbowl. He had a whole career as a full on doctor. He was literally their family doctor. And
Oh my God.
he would, when Laura came back, she had to go away again. And she ended up going to Switzerland to get away from everything. But he goes with her and
As the
they have,
doctor.
as a doctor, yes, as the doctor, but then their relationship evolves over time, which is very sweet. And it's somebody that she can actually trust. But then during that same time, Margaret needs some doctoral help. Excuse me? She's letting herself go. She's getting bigger. She's having symptoms, but she's not pregnant,
Mm-mm.
according to her story to Alice.
Mm-mm. 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 Because she's a liar and well, we don't think she's a thief, but she's a liar, that's for
Oh, sorry.
sure. So we find out that Dr. Cecil is also Captain Cecil. He is a family doctor who testified on Laura's behalf at the court trial. And he's also the one that announced the death of Cosmo. And then if you want to go into the car accident,
The car accident.
because
Yes, because they are trying to get to the hospital because they think that there's something maybe going on with her, I don't know, her stomach, whatever. Turns out it's appendicitis.
appendicitis. Mm-hmm.
But they're being chased by paparazzi, etc. And they end up getting in a car accident. And unfortunately, Cosmos dies. And she does not know until she wakes up from her own surgery, which is heartbreaking and so sad. And so
And
she goes,
Laura does not come.
Laura does not come. And so they do not talk for a very long time. That's essentially friends off now. They're no
Yep.
longer in communication. They don't talk.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially, Margaret goes into hiding for 2 years, just like someone else in the book
Yeah,
from the
just like,
beginning of the
what was
book,
her
like
name?
Nina.
Nina. Yes, how
Yeah, like Aunt
interesting.
Nina.
How
Mm-hmm,
interesting. 2 years.
mm-hmm,
Um, we also find out that Cecil and Laura end up getting married, and Laura
mm-hmm,
has a baby girl,
mm-hmm.
and that
Which
baby
is
girl's name
also
is
Jody. So Jody is fucking her niece,
her
is
niece.
her own niece, which is
Oh
lovely
my
and great.
God.
But
Oh
essentially,
my
she's
God.
trying to figure out the whole story. And the
Mm-hmm.
reason why she first comes back into her life is that unfortunately Laura is sick and
Mm-hmm.
dying.
Mm-hmm.
So they rekindle their relationship. Margaret
Mm-hmm.
and Laura build up their relationship again, which is beautiful. But then also Jody comes into the picture as well, which is lovely and great for Margaret to have some company who is
Yeah,
her
and some
family.
family, right? Yeah, like some
Mm-hmm.
family.
Mm-hmm.
And then this makes sense as to why Jody and Cecil are on
So
this
yes,
island because
exactly.
Cecil's literally her dad.
Mm-hmm. And like Margaret's like, fuck you, I don't want anything to do with you. And then she's just like, okay, that's fine. And then leaves like a little note with an address.
Right.
And then that's how she finds out
Then she ends
where
up,
to
yeah.
go and
Yeah.
everything like
Yeah.
that, which is also very sweet. So that is obviously Jody is Cecil's daughter,
Yes.
obviously.
And Laura's daughter. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And then Margaret tells Alice, who Linda gets her life back at 53 is actually. So it's actually Jody
Oh my God.
who went behind Margaret's back and is trying to like, get her to, move on and tell her story and come to terms with everything.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay, while all that Margaret stuff is going on, we find out that Hayden has actually, because they're coming to the end of this now, right? Like the month is almost over. Hayden has already asked Margaret if they could do the book together, and Margaret said no, which is weird because that's where I thought that
Mm-hmm.
this was going.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's
Same.
going to happen? Because
And I
I
guess
did not.
technically it does in the end, but
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah,
a lot
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
drama has to go on before that
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Because this is where Hayden finds the mosaic that
Mm-hmm.
Alice had purchased from the shop owner called Nicolette, and Hayden's offhandedly like, how weird. This is exactly how my mother spells her name.
Mm-hmm.
Moo.
Weird. No, why is my mom's name on this mosaic? Exactly how she spells it.
Exactly how she spells it. The most important thing in the world, Nicolette.
Nicolette, which gets Alice thinking, what? That is not a
Mm-hmm.
common name or a common
Mm-hmm.
spelling or anything like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, Alice starts putting it together because she's not a fucking idiot,
No, she's a smart cookie.
and Hayden had kind of mentioned how she felt like like I had said earlier, was hiding something, and that it was almost as if she wanted to get to know him because she did, because Margaret was pregnant.
She didn't have appendicitis and she didn't need to go to hide for 2 years, or maybe she did have appendicitis, but she
Yeah,
also
both.
was pregnant.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And she didn't want Nicolette to live the same life that Cosmo despised and ultimately ended up killing him. So
Mm-hmm.
she's like, I think she also feels like there's like an Ives curse. So she
Mm-hmm.
felt like the best thing that she could do was to give up the baby, like give it up for adoption so that it didn't have to be born into this life, which is like,
Yeah.
oh, so
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah. What was the line was something like, I held her for 5 minutes and I knew, like, uh,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. And like her husband is dead, like her love is dead, and this was all that he wanted, and like it, oh my God, the turmoil and the I couldn't even. I
Mm,
couldn't even. I couldn't even.
that's a lot. That's a lot. That's
Mm-hmm.
a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So that's crazy, and why she tracked down Hayden
Yes.
directly.
Because
Margaret
who's
did.
he?
Her grandson.
Her grandson! He's like, I want sorry, words. And the promise that she made was to Laura
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
before she
Mm-hmm.
died. Fuck, man.
Mm-hmm. And
Holy moly.
also so then Alice is like, now she's got this fucking confirmation and news, and her NDA, because she's got, those two NDAs that Margaret's talking about, means that she can't tell Hayden a fucking single thing. So
That's
then
so
there's,
unfair. That's
yeah,
so unfair.
yeah, that's fucked up. But she's like, okay, well, I don't want the job now. Like, fuck you, essentially. She's like,
Mm-hmm.
no, thank you, Margaret. I don't want to be part of this weird
Mm-hmm.
web of lies. I want
Mm-hmm.
the truth. That's what I'm
Mm-hmm.
here for. See you later. And then literally later days on everybody,
Yes. Well, and yeah, she's like to Hayden, sorry, I gotta go. Because she can't
I
be
gotta
honest
go.
with him. And she
Mm-mm.
loves him. Oh.
Yeah. Well, like, I feel like I not understand, but like, like, what the heck? She's can't be truthful to the one she loves. So like, I might as well just go and be miserable and live by myself and figure myself out, I guess. Like,
Yeah, she's even like weighing the options. Like she's like,
mhm,
well, but if he finds out like from years from now that I knew the truth and I never told him, he
mhm,
won't forgive me, which is like so true. Because if you
mhm.
were in that situation, you'd be like, you never fucking told me. But she's
Yeah,
like, I legally could not because it's
I
called
cannot.
NDA.
And she will literally take me down. Like, so she's like,
Yeah.
I'm scared of her money, essentially. Like,
Yes.
there's no
Yes.
way that I'm gonna win or
Yes.
against this.
Yes.
Like,
Yep. So then
so
she goes to her mom's
mom's
house.
house. But then, which is sweet, she like lays it on the table. Well, she's obviously emotionally charged from it all, but leaves it all on the table and how she's feeling, how she feels
Yep.
lonely in her own family and that she's
Yep.
never belonged. And
Yep.
then finally, lovingly, her mom like opens back up to her as well, being like, you were by my side, like we were a shadow growing up, and I I love you and I like you, but I don't understand you.
Yeah, I cried at this part because I was
Mhm,
like, oh my
mhm,
God.
mhm,
This
mhm.
conversation that they're having is so honest and like just needed to happen.
Yes. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. It was beautiful conversation. And then she decides on her next kind of writing project because she wants to know more about her mom and her dad. So she's doing her own little biography memoir on her and her family, which is
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yep.
Which is
And then her
beautiful.
mom even has her friends come and like a
Mhm.
surprise show up, which is just beautiful and
I
like
know, it's so
heals her
good.
little soul so much so that she's able to write a letter. And you're like,
Mhm.
who's
Who's
this letter
this letter?
for?
Because somebody shows up at her door when she's ordering pizza with a letter that was not sent to him,
And
aka
it
the
is a
letter
tall,
got
brooding man.
it got into Hayden's hands, and that's not who the letter was for. It was for
No,
Margaret.
no. She's probably like freaking out right now. Like she's like, did I send it
Mhm.
to the wrong address? But then she's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
wait, I literally don't have his address. I don't know
Mhm.
how that
Mhm.
happened.
It was Margaret who forwarded it on to him because it was about how much she essentially loves him, respects him, and yes, he might be hard to seem trustworthy or get to the core of his being, but there are reasons why he is like that. So it kind of must have put things in perspective for Margaret, and Margaret
Yeah.
forwards the letter on to Hayden.
And then he shows up at her house and he's like, is it true? And she's like,
Mhm.
is it true that you're Margaret's grandson? And he's like, no, that you love
Yeah, and she's like, yes, I love
me.
you. Yay!
And then he's
Yay!
like, I'll move to Atlanta. There's
Mhm.
music writers here. And
Yeah,
she's like,
sounds like a great. Oh my god! And then they like
and
have a
it
baby.
doesn't stop there.
They
Yeah.
have a baby. They have a baby together
They write the
named.
book for
Yes,
Margaret together.
yes, yes.
Mhm.
Oh, it's
What's
so
the
good.
baby's name?
Uh, some Laura Grace. Laura
Laura
Grace.
Grace is so
Oh,
cute. I'm surprised they didn't go
oh.
with Nicolette though. that could have been
True. That,
interesting. But
yeah.
Laura is really good because it was
Hmm,
like
hmm,
Margaret's Nicolette, essentially, right?
exactly. And I think there was a point, I don't know, I think it was in the first part. Obviously, I didn't like highlight it or anything because I thought it was just something in passing. I think there was a um part where they're talking about the name Grace, Hayden and
Right.
Alice talking about the name Grace and how it would make a good baby name or whatever. She makes that comment kind of in
Right.
passing. And then I'm like, oh, it's there.
Also, Cosmo died on a Tuesday, and Laura
Mm-hmm.
Grace was born on a Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. 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 Oh, it's
And
so
then
good.
Alice is writing this book about her family life, and I just fucking love the last line. I love when authors do this because she's writing down everything she wants to tell her daughter one day, and she writes, I welcome her to this great, big, beautiful life.
Title tie-in, love it. Fuck yes. Thank you, Emily Henry.
Oh, I was not expecting the twists
Mm-mm.
and the turns. I
Mm-mm.
was like, who is
No.
Jody? Like, I obviously wanted to know
Mhm.
who Jody was. Didn't
Yeah.
see Cecil coming into this to play a
Mm-mm.
bigger role.
Absolutely not.
Thought he was just this weird, creepy, like not creepy, but like this just weird dude who was like really
Yeah.
interested in
Yeah, like, oh, there's a writer in town and like what's
them.
a sleepy town of like
Mm-hmm.
retirees and
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
just
And
the
then
eccentric old man and
mm-hmm. The
mhm.
Nicolette storyline. Oof.
I
Oof.
was
Oof.
not expecting any of that. That
No.
was good. I
Yeah.
liked the twist. I
Yeah.
wasn't expecting it to have any twists really. I was
Yeah.
expecting just a love story.
Yep.
Wow, that was a good book. What'd you rate
Okay.
it? Oh,
Um,
we're too far. Are we there yet?
we can't rate it yet. We can't rate it yet.
Okay,
We
okay,
we got
okay.
to talk about the writing style and stuff
Yes.
because this is interesting because this
Mm-hmm.
is Emily Henry's first dual timeline and
Mm-hmm.
also like going into the past and coming like so dual characters and dual timeline, which I really liked, except for I do feel like the beginning parts of Margaret's story like maybe weren't as relevant. Like it was kind of I don't want to say boring, but it was slow in the beginning, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but I guess it now looking back, it shows how hesitant she was and was
True.
just
Yep.
using the beginning to slow down the process, I
True.
guess, to get really
True.
to the meat and potatoes of it, I
True.
guess.
Yeah, true. Because once you get to the meat and potatoes, you're like, holy crap, holy
No
crap.
wonder she's hiding.
Yeah, and like regrets everything. I thought that it was kind of cool the themes that we saw that were throughout the entire book. The truth of storytelling was really
Mhm.
interesting. We see that with all of the characters.
Mhm.
Family and legacy was kind of cool. That is something that we saw through again both of the storylines with Alice and missing her father and then deciding that it's not too late to tell the story and then same with Margaret obviously. And then the idea of love and sacrifice because again that's the exact same like all of them are experiencing love and sacrifice. Like Margaret loves Hayden, but has to sacrifice him because she can't keep the
Tell
secret from him,
him
right?
that he's
Yeah.
adopted or his mom's
Yeah.
adopted by Margaret.
Yes. Like Margaret
Or
literally
yeah.
has a baby that
Mhm.
she sacrifices, she gives up because
Mhm.
she wants a better life for it. It's it's just really beautiful. I just really enjoyed like those little themes.
Mhm. And I do also like you're kind of illustrating how Margaret was holding back and
Mhm.
it was almost like it was like when she was actually confronted with the truth she was
Yes.
like wow I need to like actually like open my eyes kind of thing.
Yes. Yes. And I really liked we mentioned it last time, but I really liked the idea of the mosaics and the word unicursal. And because it's mentioned a few times and it's one
Mhm.
beginning, one end. And then also when I liked when Alice asked Hayden if he thought that we had free will and like that
Oh
whole
yeah. Mhm.
concept of things. And I feel like the unicursal kind of like comes into that. Like the one beginning, one end, it probably brings Margaret some sort of comfort almost. I don't
Mm.
know. It's just a really interesting little part that was added in that I think could easily
Yeah.
be missed, but was also like really fundamental.
I enjoy how um smart
Yeah.
the love story is. Like, it's not just a love story or whatever.
Yeah.
I like how smart Alice is. I
Mhm.
love how just the topics, like, do we have free will, do, like, you're talking about the unicursal, like it's just
Mhm.
like things like that, bringing those kind of elements and strings in to make it seem like a smart love
Yes.
story kind of thing,
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
I
not
don't
all
know.
about it's not all about fucking. It do
Mm-hmm.
be other stuff too,
Yes,
which I
yes, like there was
like.
more substance, and like that's not where my
Yeah.
brain goes first, is like, oh my god, that was just smut or whatever,
Right.
like,
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And I think that Emily Henry is experiencing some criticism because it's not what people are expecting from her
oh,
usual
mm-hmm.
writing.
Yeah, I guess
I fucking loved it.
I can see the departure, but her writing style is
Yes.
the same. And
Yes.
obviously, yes, there's the call and response timeline, like
Hmm.
their version, our version, her version, whatever.
Hmm.
But it is the same writing style. Like
Hmm.
Alice's perspective feels like an Emily Henry novel.
Yep. Yep. And I loved the characters. You like
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of a trademark for her too, to have like these
Yes.
really like lovable
Yeah.
characters that you
Mm-hmm.
are like, wow, I would be friends with them kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And Hayden and I mean, especially Alice, they were absolutely just.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy how she can like. I love how she creates these like full-blown human characters, but you don't like from the very beginning, you're like, okay, I get what this character is about and I love them. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like you don't
Mm-hmm.
need like a ton of backstory because you're just immediately in their head, and she does a good job of that.
They have strong identities, like
Hmm. Hmm.
individually they all have a
Hmm.
strong identity, like you said, without having to go into the character,
Yeah.
because like we don't have a lot of Hayden's backstory,
No.
but he's a strong character. And then same
Yes.
with Alice, we don't really see a lot of her life, we see
Yeah.
like the traumatic parts of her life, but like she has transcended them. And like even her
Yes.
mom was like, there was part of me that was like, you've surpassed me, like what am I going to do,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
you've surpassed me,
Hmm.
kind of thing.
Hmm. Yes.
um
I liked it. Okay. 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 Do
there
you
was
want to
a
tell
part
me? Oh,
where some I need to just say that there was a part where she wrote about being a mad woman, and I was like,
yes, I
yes,
highlighted
I'm
that
like trying
too.
to find the highlight, I'm like, where is it?
I think it was
But
when
anyways,
it was after it was after Cosmo died, and she was like they
oh,
wanted to
mhm.
see a mad woman, and so I gave them one because she
Yeah,
was doing like she was doing what was she doing? She started something about the gardens. She ripped out all the flowers in the gardens and left them by the gate so that everybody could see. Like she was doing
yeah,
all of these like mad woman things that she
hmm,
felt like were expected of her
yeah,
because she was in the spotlight. Like fuck, that would suck so much. You can't just mourn. You're like
mm-mm,
you're just on
mm-mm.
like under a microscope. It kind of gave me like Princess Diana vibes with Cosmo.
Yeah, yeah. And she never remarries or finds love again,
No.
which is sad, but I guess when you have that deep fast love, and then but
Yeah.
I'm glad
Well,
that she does still have family and has connections too.
yes.
She still
Yeah.
has Cecil and she has Jody, and it sounds
Yeah.
like they are both people who love her
Yes. Yeah.
unconditionally
Yeah.
and put up with her idiosyncrasies as well.
Hmm. Hmm. Yes, I totally agree. I I don't know. I liked this book.
I
What did
liked
you
it
rate
too.
it? What did you
I
rate
think
it?
I'm gonna go I think 4 at least, if not higher.
Yes, that's what
4,
I was thinking.
yeah.
I think I'm gonna do 4.5 because
Mm-hmm.
I've been thinking
Mm-hmm.
about this a lot, and like I went back and went to see what I rated her other books, and I've rated like I rated Book Lovers and I rated Funny Story 4 stars, and I liked this more, I think. So I'm gonna do 4.5.
Nice, nice. Yeah, this definitely I felt had depth. And when you were talking about Last Great American Dynasty, it was definitely near the end. I'm seeing like tumultuous and understanding like the husband dies, and then
Yes.
everybody's like pitting it on her and how she lived
Yes.
her family curse. And yes, I
Mm-hmm,
was like,
mm-hmm,
yeah,
mm-hmm,
I see the inspiration. But
mm-hmm.
anyways, yeah, I liked it. I'm thinking for plus something. I'll figure it out when I get there. Probably when I'm in Fable, when I'm like going through all of my little like, because in Fable, I don't know if you like, have you ever rated a book?
I'm the one who was like here for it and I haven't gone to it since.
If you read a book on Fable, it like takes you through and it like asks you a bunch of questions that
Okay,
like
okay,
give
okay,
you
okay, okay.
more insight and
Mhm,
like make you think a little bit more, or like
mhm.
what did you think about the setting? And then it
Right,
gives you like keywords to pick from. So then it
right,
like kind of like sparks your memory again on it.
right.
And then I've been doing what you were doing, like just the last two books, just like even writing a sentence. I'm trying to do that. I'm
On
trying to do
Fable?
that. Yeah.
Oh, but not on Goodreads.
No.
Okay, I gotta hop over to Fable then so I can read your reviews.
And I like my shelfie, my little shelfie. Build your shelfie. That's what they call it.
Okay, okay. So now you're like a deep Fable girly, and I just abandoned. Damn it.
I don't know. I think I'm not using it to its full potential for
Mm,
sure. I
mm,
think I'm using it in the same realm of Goodreads, and like technically I could skip that part, whatever, like
right,
going deeper into it. But
right.
I have been enjoying like kind of like
How it
stepping
sparks.
back into it. Yeah.
So would you recommend this book to someone if they asked?
100%.
Is
Totally.
this
What
the
about you?
Emily Henry book that you would recommend if someone has never read Emily Henry before?
I would say read this book, but if you want more like love story, romancy, then like go back to like Book Lovers, Funny Story, like
Because
definitely.
you've read, what was it? People We Meet on Vacation? Was that the one that you read? The pink one. Didn't you read
Um,
that?
I feel like I started reading it, but I like abandoned it. I think I read the first one.
Happy,
Yeah.
Happy Place, Happy Place. I think
Happy
that's the one
Place.
that you
Yeah.
said that you were
Yeah.
going to read. Okay. Well, I really liked it and
Yeah.
it was a good
Mhm.
book. It was just easy to read and enjoyable.
Would you would recommend?
Totally. Yes, absolutely.
Mhm.
This was a great book. It's like a great summer read.
Oh
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
totally.
Like you want to read this
It
book out in the sun.
Yeah, it felt good reading it in the sun last night, that's for sure. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
So meet us back here for My Friends by Frederick Bachman. Is that what we're going to read first, or should we read the other one?
Yes. No,
Yeah.
we're gonna read
Okay.
My Friends first.
Okay.
We will not
Obviously.
be here. We will be here
Oh
this Thursday
yeah.
that you're listening to this, but we will not be here the
Mhm.
following Thursday. So you will see us again on June 5th.
For My Friends.
For My Friends.
Okay. Goodbye. See you
Love
then.
you. Love you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you. Bye. Thank you so much for listening. Please join us over at the Book Club Babes Facebook group for book discussions and to make your book recommendations, or on Instagram at bookclubbabes.pod.
If you'd like to reach out to us directly, you can email us at bookclubbabes.pod@gmail.com or contact us on our website at bookclubbabes.ca. If you love the Book Club Babes podcast, please tell a friend about us. And until next time, bye!